All right, everyone, get ready because today we're diving deep into the world of AI-generated podcasts. And trust me, this is going to blow your mind. We've been looking into NotebookLM, this incredible new tool from Google, and what we've found is absolutely revolutionary.
I think what's so fascinating about NotebookLM is how it takes the whole concept of consuming information to a whole new level. Imagine being able to take information from a bunch of different sources, Google Drive docs, PDFs, even YouTube videos, and have it distilled into a podcast, all driven by AI.
Exactly. It's like having your own personal AI assistant who can read through all this complex information, analyze it, and then turn it into a conversation. Like it makes it so much easier to grasp and way more engaging.
Absolutely. NotebookLM takes all that heavy lifting off your shoulders and makes it incredibly easy to create compelling and informative content. And the best part is, it's super simple to use.
Okay, you got me hooked. Walk me through the process. How exactly do I go about creating a podcast using this Notebook LM thing?
First, you go to notebooklm.google.com and sign in with your Google account. If you don't have one yet, you'll need to create one, but of course that's free. Once you're signed in, you can create a new notebook and give it a descriptive name.
Okay, that sounds easy enough. And then what? How do I actually feed Notebook LM the information that I want to have in my podcast?
Well, here's the cool part. NotebookLM supports a variety of formats. You can directly insert documents from your Google Drive, upload PDFs or text files, paste text from your clipboard, or even provide website URLs for NotebookLM to analyze. You can even add YouTube videos as long as they have a transcript.
Hold on, YouTube videos. You mean this thing can like watch a video and understand what's happening in it? How does that even work?
Exactly. NotebookLM is truly versatile. It analyzes the transcript of the video and extracts the key information. It's truly groundbreaking.
That's wild. I can imagine so many possibilities opening up with that. But let's take it step by step. So I've created my notebook, given it a cool name, added all my sources, articles, research papers, maybe even a couple of YouTube videos with transcripts. What do I do then to actually bring this podcast to life?
Once you've added at least one source, you can create your AI podcast. This is where the magic really happens. You open the Notebook Guide, which usually starts automatically when you add a source. If not, you can find it under the Notebook Overview section.
Okay, Notebook Guide found. What next?
You'll find the options for AI podcasts at the top right of the guide. If you directly click Generate, it will create an English language podcast.
Ah, and I'm guessing this is where the trick for a German language podcast comes in, right?
Exactly. This is where the Customize option comes into play. When you click on it, a pop-up window opens where you can give specific instructions to the AI hosts.
Okay, this is getting exciting. Tell me more. What kind of instructions can I give them? Can I tell them what to talk about or which sources to focus on?
You can basically set the stage for the AI hosts and steer the conversation. For example, you could tell them, this episode is aimed at a German-speaking audience, and the hosts should converse exclusively in German.
Wow, that is incredible. So I can really tell the AI host what kind of podcast I want. Like I can guide the conversation and have it focus on specific themes or sources.
Precisely. You can refine the direction of the conversation by specifying which sources or topics you want the AI host to prioritize. You can even tell them who the intended audience is. For example, you could say, imagine you are talking to film students.
That's brilliant. I feel like I'm directing my own little podcast production here. Okay, so what happens after I've entered my customized prompt? Like how long does it take for the podcast to be ready?
Then you simply click Create, sit back, and let NotebookLM work its magic. It usually only takes a few moments for the podcast to be generated.
And then boom, I have a perfectly produced German language podcast ready to go. That's amazing. I can download it, share it with the world, maybe even submit it to a podcast festival. The possibilities are endless.
Exactly. NotebookLM takes all the hard work out of the equation and makes it incredibly easy to create engaging and informative content in any language you desire.
It's truly revolutionary, like having a personal podcast studio right in the palm of your hand. Okay, so we've covered creating a new notebook, adding sources, customizing the prompt, and generating the podcast. Are there any other hidden gems in this NotebookLM wonderland we should explore?
Well, let's talk a bit more about sources. We know NotebookLM can handle up to 50 sources per notebook, but is there a limit in terms of the types of files it can handle? Like, what if I have a really long research paper or a 2-hour YouTube video? Will it choke?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. What if I want to throw in my epic 3-hour documentary about the making of Metropolis? Will the system crash?
Don't worry. NotebookLM is surprisingly robust when it comes to handling different file types and sizes. Of course, there are technical limits to how much data it can process at once, but those limits are pretty high. You could easily include lengthy research papers or even book chapters in your notebook without running into problems.
Okay, that's good to know. But what about YouTube videos? Is there a limit on how long those videos can be?
The length of the YouTube video itself isn't the main concern. What's most important is whether there is a transcript available. As long as a transcript is there, NotebookLM can analyze the content and incorporate it into the podcast. There might be some variations in processing time depending on the length of the video, but it shouldn't be a major roadblock.
That makes sense. So basically, as long as I have a transcript, NotebookLM can pretty much handle anything I throw at it. This feels less like a tool and more like a superpower.
It certainly is a powerful tool, and it's constantly evolving. Google is adding new features and improvements all the time. It's exciting to imagine what the future holds for AI-powered learning and content creation.
Okay, I have to ask, and maybe this is getting a little too philosophical now, but with these AI hosts, are we essentially creating digital versions of ourselves?
hmm
They're learning from our sources, having conversations based on our instructions. It's almost like they're absorbing our knowledge and perspectives.
That's a very interesting question, and one that sparks a lot of discussion in the AI community. While these AI hosts are impressive in their ability to process and synthesize information, it's important to remember that they're still operating within the confines of their programming. They learn from the data we provide them, but they don't develop consciousness or independent thought like humans do.
That's a good point. It's easy to get caught up in the magic of it all and forget that we're still dealing with algorithms and code. But even if they're not sentient beings, these AI hosts are still incredibly valuable tools for learning and exploring complex topics. Imagine being able to create a custom podcast on any subject that interests you, all in your native language, with hosts that can discuss and analyze information in an engaging and informative way. It's like having a personal tutor on demand.
Exactly. And it's not just about learning, it's about accessibility as well. Imagine someone who has difficulty reading or processing large amounts of text. With an AI-generated podcast, they could access the same information in a more easily digestible audio format. The applications for this technology are huge and incredibly exciting.
I'm already thinking about all the different ways I could use this. Prep for a meeting, boom, AI podcast summarizing the key points. Catch up on a complex topic, no problem. AI hosts break it down into bite-sized pieces. Want to learn something completely new? AI podcast adventure, here we come.
And let's not forget about the entertainment value. These AI podcasts can be surprisingly funny and engaging. The hosts can tell jokes, share anecdotes, even debate different points of view. It's not just about dry facts and figures, it's about making learning fun and enjoyable.
You know, it's funny. We started this deep dive talking about the technical aspects of NotebookLM, the file formats, the source limits, the customization options. But what's really blowing my mind is the potential impact of this technology. We're talking about democratizing knowledge, making it accessible to anyone, anywhere, in any language. That's a pretty powerful thing.
It really is. It's just the beginning. As AI technology continues to advance, we can expect to see even more innovative applications in the future. It's an exciting time to be a learner, and I, for one, can't wait to see what the future holds.
Okay, so we've covered the step-by-step process of creating a German language podcast with NotebookLM. We've explored its amazing capabilities, its potential impact, even some of the philosophical questions it raises. What else can we unpack about this incredible tool? What hidden gems are we still missing?
One aspect we haven't touched on yet is the role of human creativity in this process. While NotebookLM can automate many aspects of podcast creation, it's still up to us humans to provide that initial spark, that guiding vision, and the critical thinking that elevates these podcasts from simple information delivery to truly engaging experiences.
Yeah, that's a really important point. It's not like we're just passively feeding information into a machine and expecting it to spit out a masterpiece. We're still the architects of the story, the curators of the content, and the ultimate judges of what makes a podcast truly captivating.
Exactly. We bring our unique perspectives, our curiosity, our desire to communicate with others through stories. NotebookLM provides the tools, but it's our human ingenuity that breathes life into these AI-powered creations.
So it's not about replacing human creativity with AI, but rather amplifying it, giving us new avenues to express ourselves and share our knowledge with the world. That's a much more hopeful and empowering perspective, I think.
Absolutely. It's about embracing the possibilities of collaboration between human and artificial intelligence, recognizing the strengths of both, and harnessing them together to create something truly remarkable.
This deep dive has been incredible, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface of what's possible with NotebookLM.